found it or were gone.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. As you probably figured out, we've got some kind of critter in our RV, and we think we picked it up from the last campground we're at. And the reason for that is that last campground had a lot of trees, a lot of woods, a lot of open area where there were chipmunks and squirrels and that kind of stuff running around. So I'm going to show you what we did to get this one out of here and some preventative measures you can take. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to dispel a myth of a particular method that people tend to use that could cause you some unpleasantness. So stick around for that. Let's get into it. So the first place I heard the little critter was from behind here. So I figured I'd go outside and take a look and see how he may have gotten in. So let me show you what I did. Give you an idea. Now this is a Riverstone 39 RKFB. So your rig will be different, but the approach is pretty much the same. You kind of look for where they come in. So first thing I did is I came down here to see if there was anything obvious. And there's no clear shot up to that area. That big black pipe you see there, that's where the toilet is. The shower pan is just beyond that horizontal cut in half 2x4 that you see up there. But you know, as far as where he could have came in, if he did come in here, look, there's huge gaps. You can see daylight down through there. You got these big holes here, you got holes here, so who knows what's open to the underbelly to allow him to come up into there. So then I went over here, and this right here, this access port is where the shower drain is. So that puts that place that I heard him right about somewhere around here. Now if you look under the kingpin here, this is all open here. I mean, this is a pretty big distance here, so I'm not sure how he would have jumped up there, but you know, they're resilient little things, so who knows. Then of course we have in here, which is on the other side, that 2x4 that I show you horizontal is actually up in here on the other side of this. So there's not a lot of ways to get from here into this portion, but there's wires going in there, and these little, you know, varmints, if their head can fit through something, the rest of their body can. So he could have come in somewhere along there. Didn't come in the battery box, that's pretty tight. Didn't come in through the wet bay, that's pretty tight. Through here, if I had these doors closed, there wasn't much of a way of them getting into this particular area. But right now, as you can see, I have a temporary Starlink cable, and that goes right up and goes through a hole and gets into the back storage area over there. So could have got in that way. Whole number of ways to get in. Now you can try to prevent them from getting in there by using things like Pest Block, which is a Great Stuff expanding foam. There's also some other stuff called xCluder. I'll put a link here. It's kind of like a stainless steel or steel wool and material like that, but it's a little bit different. Use that at other places, I'll show you that. And the other thing I did is just to try to repel them a bit, is I used this Repellzol and I sprayed that around the perimeter just to stop them from coming towards it. And I don't know if that helped or not, but I used it anyhow. It kind of stinks, so you'd have to be willing to put up with that. And I did spray some in the utility areas too, just to try to, you know, get them to flee from the area. But apparently that didn't work. Well, maybe it did. Maybe I had two critters. Seeing as it seems like one may have got here, come in when we got here, or he made the 250-mile trip with us. Who knows? All right, so that is about it for that. Like I said, you can go around and try to seal up all these little places and stuff, but there's dozens and dozens of them. Yeah, it's better to do a few than none, I guess, but I don't think you'd be able to practically hit all of them. All right, so the second place I heard them was up in the ceiling here, particularly over here, but I'm gonna show you what I did over here instead because it's easier to get to. So these lights just have these spring clips, so you can take them off like this. and I left that hanging. And then I used my inspection camera to kind of look around up there, see if I saw any droppings or any other evidence of them. And I did, so I figured I'd put a trap, these glue traps, one in each one of the lights. And I used a little piece of cardboard to kind of prop up the insulation because it's a little narrow up here. So I did that, which I'm not having luck doing now, but there you go. I did that, and then I just took one of these glue traps, very, very tacky, and I just put it in there like this. And I put the lamp back on like that. So just put it back in, boom. And then we waited, and we didn't even have to wait like 24 hours. I think I did that around 4 o'clock yesterday, and then by 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I heard them rattling around up here, and then finally heard the trap moving a lot, and that kind of indicated that something was on it. So I woke up, and this is what happened. Look out. Here he is. There he is. Got him.
Still alive?
Yep.
Off he goes.
All right, well, that was kind of anticlimactic, but we did get them. So let me tell you the choices that we have to get rodents out of the rig. You can use a snap trap, you can use a glue trap, or you can use poison. So the reason I didn't use a snap trap in this particular case is because the space up there between the ceiling and the attic area is very shallow. So a snap trap, the spring wouldn't have enough room to snap. The reason I didn't use poison is for a number of different reasons. One is, and you can get poison that's not toxic to animals and stuff like that, and that's all well and good. But the bigger reason is there's a myth about poison, and that is that they'll eat the poison and that'll draw them out of the rig or out of the area because they're going to seek water. Well, that's not always the case. If they're trapped in there and they can't figure out the way out, they're going to eat the poison, and then they may go into a place that's inaccessible and die there, and you won't be able to get them out, and it'll stink, and that'll be very unpleasant. So that's the myth. That's not true. If they're getting food from somewhere up there, there's a little bit of moisture in the food, and that may be enough to satisfy them, and they won't go out or they can't get out. So that's why you don't use poison. Yeah, and then the snap traps, you can use those anywhere. The thing is that if you put traps out, you're gonna want to check them frequently, because if you put the traps out and then you leave and it snaps and you don't think about it, well, you're gonna find out in a week or so when it starts stinking up the area. And those glue traps particularly, right? They'll get stuck on those glue traps, but if they're not well embedded, they could drag themselves a little bit and go into that inaccessible area. So they're not foolproof either. So you want to check those, put them up there, and then check them. So we put those in there about 24 hours before we actually got the little critter, and we would have checked those. And I took all of them out after I got that critter. I took all the others out and put those away for use later if we need them. So you don't leave them up there, because if a critter does get in there again, it's going to get on it, and you won't know about it until a few weeks later when it's too late and your place is stinking up. All right, well, that's all I got to say for this one. Thanks for watching. As usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. And if you think anybody else will get value from this content, please share it out to them. Question and comments down below. If you've had critters in your rig, leave comments down below what you did to eradicate them. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Hope to see you next time.